Listen, I just cleaned my whole house in a matter of 20 minutes. I'm actually really impressed with myself, but the water people came by. It's a whole thing with our water system. We've been trying to fix it for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. It's a whole thing. They came by and they were fixing it in the garage. I'm like, oh, they're just gonna be in the garage. First of all, I showed up, I had no idea. And then, you know what they said? Oh, we have to go through everywhere in your house where there's water. Every sink, every shower, every drain, every bath, every toilet, everything. And that is when my mental breakdown began. I was like, you're coming inside my house? Needless to say, I had to clean up. There can't be any proof of us actually living here, even though there's crap everywhere still, but I tidied up everywhere and I did it in like 20 minutes. As I was finishing up upstairs, I mean, listen, I went through the bathrooms, I tidied up the play area upstairs, which, the room upstairs with 5 million blankets on the floor, tidied the living room, the kitchen, the dining room had crap in it, Wentworth's room, Wolfgang's room, Meredith's room, my bathroom, not my bedroom. That's still a disaster. But I was like, you know what, 20 minutes, I'll take it. But anyway, by the end, I was like, you know what, not so bad. And now my house is semi-tidy, so all good things happening. Now, we can't run the water for 2 hours. And have you ever tried to function without running water? I keep thinking like, oh, I need to brush my teeth. Oh, I don't have, I mean, obviously you can use bottled water. Listen, I'm not a camper. I know you could use bottled water, but will I use bottled water? Because then I'm like, oh, I don't know. I can wait a couple of hours to do some things. I can't wash the dishes. Someone asked me to make something. I was like, I can't run the water. 2 hours will fly by before I even know it. It's chaos here. The kids were just running around screaming at the top of their lungs. When I say running, I mean riding their bicycles inside, because outside is the scorching hot surface of the sun. I'm right here right now trying to figure out what the heck is for dinner, because the age-old question, what the heck is for dinner? I don't know. I took out some chicken to thaw, but I can't, like, you know, run my water to help it thaw a little faster. So I'm looking through and trying to figure out what the heck to make for dinner. Going through all the recipes on macro-friendly foods, because I feel like I just need to start eating healthier. I just got sidetracked. I don't know. Oh, that's where I was getting. I need to start eating healthier. 5 cookies for breakfast is not the vibe. I mean, honestly, it kind of is the vibe. But I literally wake up, I'm like allergic to everything. I should do an elimination diet to figure it all out, or just to reset everything. But I'm having trouble, like, I'll eat a handful of something and then I'll just start itching everywhere in my throat, my ears. I'm like, this is not even enjoyable. Eating is not enjoyable. But like, I guess it must be worth it because I still continue to eat. Anyway, I need to do laundry. But I can't throw laundry in because the running water, does that count? I don't know. So I was gonna wash my sheets today. Guess I have to wait another month to do that. Good thing I did 17 loads of laundry yesterday, and so I can fold them all. I'm gonna print out some recipes. This one is chomping at the bit to go see the chickens. You wanna see them too? Let's head out. Let's go on a little field trip, field trip. Field trip, field trip. Ah, it's hot. What degree is it? And really, it's not the heat that'll get you. It's the humidity. Don't mind that noise if you hear the clicking. That's like, it's just another issue that's going on. It's our septic tank, which we think, it's a long story. There's always something going on here. The other day, I was at my friend's house, and they have literally 30 chickens. They have a rooster, so stinking cute. I shared it on Instagram. And they actually have a turkey. Did I say they have chickens or they have both? They only have one turkey, but they have a bunch of chickens. Anyway, so, you know, they were doing chicken chores and I was out there watching and hanging out, and they fed their chickens. Ours are currently sand bathing. I'll show them to you. But I came out with a cup because my friends were feeding them worms. And I had seen people buy the worms. Oh my gosh, it's so gross. And there's already a cup in here. Fed them this morning. They had some of these dried worms, which is actually like, oh my gosh, grossing me out. Wormies. You wanna feed the chickens the worms? Okay, over here. Oh look, they even know what's about to happen. Come on, chickens. You wanna get some wormies? All right, they're gonna come get the wormies. Anyway, did I even finish the story? They had the worms, and I was like, oh yeah, where'd you get those? The feed store? No, they got them, of course, from Amazon. And so, of course, I ordered some, and came in the next day, and the chickens are just adoring them. Here are all the lovies. You wanna say hi? Hi. Come here, Betty White. And there's one in there. You know, sometimes they really love those worms. They went crazy about them. Maybe we give them too many treats. I don't know. She probably just laid an egg. Oh, look at that. fresh and warm. Anyway, here they are. You want to hold a chicken? Hello, chickens. There's that clicking noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's this joke. I don't know if you've heard it, but it goes something like, your house always knows when there's a little bit of extra money in your bank account, because that's when something breaks and then you have to replace it and spend a bunch of money on it, you know? Wolfgang likes to hold them, but they're not feeling it right now. There's wasps. Serious question. Is it the same kind of thing as getting a sauna as it is like walking out in the Florida heat and just sweating? While doing nothing, like zero physical activity, just standing there, dripping sweat. It's so hot. It's so humid. I mean, obviously it doesn't help that I'm wearing a sweater. Why am I even wearing a sweater? There's no answer. It doesn't make sense. Someone came by unannounced. I had to throw something on. This was hanging on the chair. You know, nothing can make you clean faster than having an unexpected guest say that they need to go into almost every single room in the house. This laundry room, I do have a mountain, not as big as it normally is. All right, those are dry and clean. I'm gonna get to doing this and sorting this laundry, and by the time I'm done sorting this, I'm sure it'll be time to be able to run the sinks again, and then maybe I'll cook something. Not sure I have any ingredients to cook. I may need to run to the grocery. You know what I made the other day? And I tried to, oh my gosh, speaking of that, I need to bring the kids back to school shopping. Their school supply list just came in. I can't even believe it. Sometimes I'll share things like the back to school shop with me that I recently did, and people are like, no, our summer just started a week ago. I'm like, a week ago? What in the heck? Our kids literally go back in like 2.5-ish, 3 weeks max. I don't know when you're seeing this. Thankfully, we do have one more hour, little vacation to go on, which is in Orlando. It's so nice that we live where other people vacation, so it saves us a bunch of money. Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, for us, summer's almost over, so I need to take the kids back to school shopping. And my point on that is that the kids have camp for another week, and then we have the week long we'll be gone in Orlando, and then we come back, it's 1 week of like go time before the kids actually go back to school. So like in that week, I need to get all of your school supplies. So I'm like, I should probably go school supply shopping tomorrow because the lists just came in, which is bonkers. Oh my gosh, look, Alina got this from the thrift store. Isn't this amazing? Great find. She got a great find there. Anyway, earlier is better for everything, really. But definitely back to school shopping before all the supplies run out. And then you're left with the piddly crumbs. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't feel like leaving the house today, which, okay, that reminds me. I might have to leave the house depending on if I can scrounge up enough stuff for dinner, which I'm sure I can. Like, surely there's enough stuff. My problem is vegetables. Like, I'm trying to eat healthier. I think the only vegetable we have in the house right now is like maybe carrots, which we've eaten like every single day, and broccoli, which we have all the time. Like, can we switch up a little bit? But then once I get to the grocery store, I'm like, you know what? Carrots and broccoli are really good. I'm just in like the late summer funk. Is that a thing? If it's not, I feel like it should be, because I'm like zero routine. I have hardly any motivation to do anything. Today is just a lazy day. We have nothing planned. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. And I'm just like, house reset since we're gonna be home all day. Maybe I'll make some brownies. Speaking of eating healthy, I don't know. We'll see what the day brings. Turns out the day brought on an actual load. There's so much, as you probably saw in the intro, so brace yourselves is all I'm about to say, okay? And then speaking of brownies, I didn't make brownies today, but I did make a breakfast/dessert treat. How could it be both? Well, how can pancakes be both? How can waffles be both? How can a cupcake be acceptable at a birthday party, but muffins are acceptable for breakfast when it's essentially the same thing without icing? Give me the icing. How can Nutella be acceptable for a breakfast when it has 22 grams of sugar every 2 tablespoons? I'm just saying, breakfast and dessert food are very similar. Croissants? Anyone? Pastries? Come on. Take a minute, and then you'll realize, you know what? It is. And
The rules of adulthood say that you can eat whatever the heck you want, whenever the heck you want. It just depends on how good you want to feel in a little bit. And that's my thing. I feel like that's why I've kind of fallen off the wagon, is because when I'm working out, you know, when I have a routine and I work out 5 days a week or however many I can get in, I think about my food like, should I eat that extra cookie because I already had 3, and like when I work out later, my body's going to say, why the heck did you eat all those cookies? You know what I mean? I like to keep a healthy balance where, like, yes, I'm going to eat the treats, but maybe not as many as I'm eating all summer this summer.
This pantry looks like it needs a mother's touch, honestly. It's kind of been on my to-do list for a really long time. I mean, at first glance, it actually doesn't even look that bad. But like once you get in there, there's barely any room. I need to put everything, we've literally been eating out of that box. I just went in there for a snack and I was like, what's in here? So I pulled out these Wisps, which I used to get, you know, when they sell them at Costco and the bag is like this big. Anyway, I found them for a good price on Thrive Market. And so I got them. I like the ranch ones. I feel like they have a little bit more flavor. All of the water is running in our house, by the way. So if you're like, is something leaking? It's me. Let me turn it off. He said to run it until like the pressure comes back, and it's still lacking. Like everything else is still running in the house. I just turned 3 off that were really loud. Anyway, I got these. I think I'm either allergic to gluten, or not allergic, but intolerant. Like my body just doesn't really enjoy it, or preservatives. We're about to find out. And these are really good. The kids like them, and they're keto and like gluten-free and stuff. Just all around a good snack. Anyway, my mind is still on dinner. But snacking is my life. So I pulled out a recipe book, and I'm just gonna sift through this. And I remember a long time ago, like a few years ago, has it been that long? You know, time flies by. It's hard for me to really grasp when the last time I made something was. Like, okay, so when I was scrapbooking, I was going through all the pictures, which like that's a whole story and a half on its own. Maybe I'll talk about it when the photo books come in, which I ordered 5 whole photo books. I scrapbooked in the matter of like 2 days, and I'm trying to start another one. But anyway, so I was going through and I was like, oh, because I had a ton of pictures of food that I should delete. But I was going through and I was like, oh, I remember when I made that. That was so good, I should make it again. That was like a year ago, right? No, wrong. It was like 4 years ago, and I'm like, wow, I can't grasp time. Anyway, I made like a breakfast bake, a breakfast, which is really like a cake, but I had oatmeal in it. It was so good. Maybe not healthy, but it's gotta be healthier than just me waking up and eating 5 cookies. Scrounging around for whatever the heck else is, like chips and salsa. Easy, no prep work. You grab some chips, you grab some salsa, put them together and you eat. I need something like that. I need to meal prep again. Maybe I'll make this Cobb salad. Ooh, that dressing. Chinese chicken salad. Okay, some of these look really good. Maybe it's not even in this one. Ah, here it is. Yellow cake baked oatmeal. It was so good, and honestly, it's like a dessert. I'm gonna see if I have everything I need to make this. I don't have raspberries or peaches. You know what? I'm flipping through and I'm like, I gotta have something. I'm pretty sure I have peaches. I have blackberry. Yes, I got peaches. I should probably clean my fridge out today. Fine. Raspberries. We gotta have raspberries somewhere. No, but I have strawberry. Wait. No. I have blueberries and I have strawberries. So I'm gonna make it work. But for dinner, that's another story. I kind of want to cook something on the grill. I just want that summertime flavor. Well, have you know, I nearly died getting this from my cabinet. I was reaching, it was on top of my fridge, like the cabinet on top of my fridge, which is like forgotten cabinet. This probably isn't even big enough because I have 2 packs of chicken, whatever. I'm gonna throw together the chicken marinade. So I have some chicken thighs. You guys know I love to cook with these, but more than that, they were like $5 off at Costco 6 months ago, and I bought a lifetime supply. They are a little fattier, but they're juicier because of that, and they don't dry out. It's very hard to overcook chicken thighs, especially when you're cooking them on the grill. I think they're perfect. So it's like a honey mustard chicken kind of thing, and I'm going to obviously start with some mustard, the Dijon variety. I'm gonna add some honey too. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Ooh, and some rosemary to give it nice flavor. If you don't have it, maybe Italian seasoning. Oh, and I was lucky enough to find this in my fridge. Actually, it was on my countertop. Crap, I shouldn't have cut it yet. It calls for the zest of the lemon and the juice, but I also have limes. I think adding the zest will really enhance the flavor, and the citrus in general will just bring a really nice brightness to the dish. And that's it. Just gonna make sure everything's mixed together, and then I'm gonna let it sit.
This was actually really good. I grilled it later that day. You'll see. I think I shared a little bit of it. I think maybe I shared the end result. But let's venture on in while the marinade is marinating to my pantry. I've been putting this off because I'm like, oh, I know it's going to take me a while. I just have to do it. Just got to throw on a podcast and just pull your bootstraps up, whatever that expression is. Pull myself up by my bootstraps, something that it doesn't matter. This is my pantry. I'm not working hard outside. I needed to get in here, declutter, put the stuff from Thrive Market away. And you know what I've realized? Okay, because I used these snacks during the week of camp for my kids, obviously snacks, and I really enjoyed them. One, I just think they're a little bit healthier than the snack options that I can get elsewhere. And I felt good about sending in a bunch of snacks. It's like, you know what? It's not fruits and vegetables, but better than Doritos is my baseline. And so I have vowed to, I always order snacks off of Thrive Market, but I gotta place this month's order because we're actually running a little low because my kids, it's summertime, they got friends over and then they just devour all the snackage. The emergency snack drawer situation is upstairs. So if they're ever wanting something, I'm like, oh, we're out of it. We always go upstairs. And that's where the good snacks are, Okay, so my pantry. We have stuff in here like those orange pretzels that I just pulled out. When were those from? A lot of empty boxes, a lot of nearly empty bags of like the freeze-dried blueberries, the freeze-dried strawberries and bananas and raspberries that I just pulled out. They were nearly empty or like crumbs in the bag. I'm like, maybe I should put a garbage can in here, but then I don't want a garbage can in here. Do you feel me? And the chips, same situation. There are some chips where we open them and we're like, wow, these are gross. And then we keep them when we know no one's going to eat them. So I'm just getting rid of those. But for the most part, oh, that was my post for the thumbnail, by the way. I didn't clip that out. It's cool. You get to see a little behind the scenes action. But, just tidying up in here, getting rid of excess boxes. I need to take some inventory. And you know what I actually want to do? I was going to say inventory on the cans, the beans down there, because I need to, file those up again. Not file, but restock kind of thing. And I was at my friend's house the other day, and she really inspired me because she was making beans, like from a bag, like dry beans on the stovetop. And I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to do that and can them. And so it's been on my list of things to do. I want to can chili. I want to can chicken stock. I want to can beans. Those are the top 3 in my head in particular because those are 3 items that I use pretty regularly. And so for numbers, because I saw someone else run the numbers a while ago when I was looking into canning beans, and I thought, okay, well, let me figure out the price difference. So a lot to say about this. Let me just remind me if I don't talk about like the cost of the equipment, because that is definitely not factored into her rundown. Okay. So she was going through, she's like, 1 bag of beans costs this much and you get this many cans out of it. And it comes down to about 10 cents. Let me just do roundabout numbers because I don't remember exactly, but in my head, that's about what it was, about 10 cents a can, if you will. And if you do them yourself. If you buy them from the store, the cheapest I can find cans are like 99 cents, maybe 79 cents if they're on sale. So you're saving a substantial amount of money, and that's just beans. I'm not talking about chicken stock because when you buy chicken stock from the store, it's mostly water. And I have to tell you, since the last time I made it, I just ran out of my last one in this video, my last block of chicken stock, which I was kind of upset about because the chicken stock I made was far superior tasting than anything I've ever gotten from a store shelf. Okay. So it's not just about quality it's not just about saving money. It's about the quality of the product. And if you want something else in it, you can add it, So all of those factors in. But what she doesn't factor in is the cost of the equipment. So the canner that I got was around $100. Maybe I got it on sale, something like that. I tried to buy it secondhand. I went on Facebook for probably 2 weeks looking for it. And I was like, forget it. I just want a can now. And then I got it off Amazon, and it's been literally months. So I could have waited, but at the time I thought I was, gonna hop right into it. I haven't. Spoiler alert, but I need to. And then the cost of the cans, even though you can reuse them, and obviously you can can multiple things, so I'm going to have that for a long time. But I'm just saying the initial investment is a little bit more, but the productivity that can come out of it is so much better in my eyes. And I'm wanting to can chili. So like on a busy night, especially in the fall or spring when my kids have a lot of after school activities and they are into a lot of sports, I'm like, what the heck is for dinner? I don't know. I don't have time to make anything. My calendar was jam-packed today. I didn't even pull out meat. Hey, guess what's waiting for me in the pantry? Chili. The chili that I canned. I mean, I'm talking as my future self. Hopefully I get to it. But chili is always a go-to. It's a crowd pleaser with my family. And just being able to have some of my chili, because have you had canned chili from the grocery store? I don't recommend. One time we had a friend over and he was like, wow, this chili is so good. And I was like, yeah, it's just like, I mean, he was raving. I was like, well, how do you make your chili, And he said, oh, from a can. I was like, of course it's better. Like, of course it's better than Chef Boyardee or whatever the heck. Oh, it made me laugh. But anyway, that's what I'm talking about. The quality of product. And then, of course, you can make whatever the heck you want. So that's on my list of things to do. So I'm needing to tidy up my pantry because, of course, I can't can stuff when I have nowhere to put it. But I have plenty of space in this pantry. This pantry is huge. And also, I'm thinking, because I store a lot of stuff in here that I don't necessarily use all of the time. And so I'm thinking, maybe I can put another shelf up top. Like, these ceilings are huge. Surely I can throw another shelf on there and then put my canning equipment and then whatever I can, if I don't access it often. So, because a lot of the stuff in here, like the condiment shelf right there, which actually looks so much better than it did, I have a lot of stockpile. So I've got like 4 jars of honey, humongous jars of honey. I have like 16 bottles of ketchup. It's just stuff that I keep on back supply. I've got oils, I've got salad dressings and stuff like that. So it's not just my daily pantry. It's like my food storage, if you will. I know, listen, I watch a lot of other people who have food storage, and that's a big thing, and as it should be. Like, you got to prepare for things like that, especially when, us, we have a large family, so I would like to not run out of stuff all the time. So I have a back supply of, my dried goods in my garage, but it gets very hot in my garage, so I don't feel safe storing a lot of stuff out there. I mean, I used to back when I didn't have an option, you know what I mean? But now that my pantry is bigger, I can store stuff in here. But what I'm getting at is, well, I don't really know. What I'm trying to say is I'm wanting another shelf so I can store even more things. And I watch these other people who have literally basements just full, stockpiled full. And I'm like, oh, it's great. But like, does it get hot and humid where you are? Like, no, not really. Not a Florida kind of thing. And I don't know how I feel about it. I guess maybe I could start storing stuff. But anyway, I got a lot of feelings. And another shelf in here wouldn't hurt to store excess goods, even if it's just paper towels and stuff. So extra storage is always fantastic. I think we're always looking for that. I think especially because we have those extra closets that we built, but we don't have shelves in them yet. I need to go to the IKEA website and see if they have them in yet, because that's really like something I was really excited about, having that extra storage space. Because while our house is pretty spacious, we don't have a lot of like storage closets. Like the cleaning closet I have, that's okay. But other than that, and my closet in my bedroom, and someone the other day said, oh, like your closet is maxed out. I was like, yeah, but that's all Easter stuff. I don't use my closet for just that. Like, I have the kids' clothes in my closet. I have a lot of arts and crafts in my closet. I have all of my old photo albums in my closet. Like, I have treasure troves from my childhood in my closet. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just that. And then I also have the list goes on, is what I'm trying to say. Is it's not just my clothes that are in there, even though I do have a lot. I do have an abundance, but everyone has their thing, okay? Hashtag justified. And so anyway, storage is always great, and having those 2 extra closets would be very helpful because, we just had a lot of board games and stuff and arts and crafts and stuff. and like stuff. By the way, did you see that before and after shot of this? Al dente. I love to see it. Makes me so happy. I'm so glad that I spent time cleaning this. Oh my gosh, and then my hydration station, because I bought some liquid IV from Thrive Market, and I didn't know I was out of my watermelon element. I need to order more of that. I'll place that in my next order. But this is my hydration station drawer. We've got probiotics up there. We've got like a healthy hot cocoa. We've got the vitamin C. And then I found those in my pantry that I never use. So I'm throwing that in there too. Good to go.
I want to be in that number. And the saints go marching. When the saints go marching, when the saints go marching, when the saints go marching.
Hey, you know when your kids are asking for Starbucks and you're like, no way, I'm going to spend $7 on a drink? So I found a recipe, and we actually made this last week for the pink drink because, listen, for a treat, I got it for Evelina last time we were at the mall. I guess that's what she wanted. And I took a little tasted-y, and I was like, that's pretty good. It tasted like a cream Werther. What are those called? A swirl cream swirlers. What? Anyway, I tested a couple of different recipes out that I saw on Pinterest. One of them had like a zuzu, I don't know what it was, some kind of like passion tea or passion fruit tea or pomegranate, something, I don't know. And then white grape juice, and then this, and then something else, coconut milk and something else, I don't know. So we tried that one, and it wasn't as good as this combo. So we did the legwork for you. So if you're looking for a nice little Starbucks do, here it is. And even if you're not, if you're looking for just like a summertime treat of a drink, or if you like drinks or something, I don't know. I don't really, but I enjoy a little bit of this. It's a nice to switch things up every once in a while. So a little bit of this strawberry. What even is this? White cran strawberry. This, and then this is a close-up of the other one. You need coconut milk, but it has to be sweetened coconut milk, and Alex actually likes this just on its own. And I get this in the non-refrigerated section because there's actually very slim pickings when you go to the refrigerated section when it comes to coconut milk. There's like one kind. So it's just like equal parts, I feel like, or whatever you like. And then there's like a foam that I made the first time with this, and I just think it's completely unnecessary. So, but here it is. Here's the final reveal, Princess Diaries style. I'm just gonna give it a mix. It tastes really fantastic, and it's like minimal effort, maximum results. Here you go. Hey.
This stuff is delicious.
I'm gonna start making the yellow cake baked oatmeal, and it starts with 5 cups of milk and then 2 cups of quick cooking oats, but I've done this with whole oats before and it was fine. Cook this in the microwave for like 5 to 6 minutes. Hey, I'm looking for my pan. I had a white one that's like a 10 by 15 or whatever the heck it was, 15, 17, I don't know. Can't find it anywhere, but I did find the pans I was looking for a while ago. So this came out after 6 minutes and it's looking a little thicker. I'm gonna let it sit on the countertop for 10 minutes.
While it was sitting, I took advantage of that time and cut up some peaches. And I don't think it's peach season. These weren't wafting. You know how like sometimes you'll get peaches and you're like, wow, I can literally smell that across the house. This wasn't it. But I love putting the fresh fruit on top of this because it adds so much flavor to the dish, so much sweetness. And I mean, it's delicious. I recommend. Even if you don't necessarily like them, just add them.
Well, it's been 10 minutes, won't you believe it? 2 milk and oatmeal mixture. I'm going to add 2 cups of yellow cake mix. It's just like a box yellow cake mix. These are heaping cups, but it's fine. This is how much is left. And you know I want to dump the rest in there. All of this in, I suppose. Am I doing this right? Okay, to this, once it's smooth, I melted 1 stick of butter. I'm gonna crack in 4 eggs. 1, 2. Maybe I should have whisked these a little bit beforehand. Well, what's done is done. And I think that's it. And a little bit of salt. Balance out that sweetness. This just looks so beautiful. I love the peaches and raspberries together. I'm gonna grease a pan and dump the whole mixture in. And then I'm going to place the raspberries and peaches on top.
So I saw the drink that we made in this video and I was like, oh, that sounds good. So I made another one. Now my throat is itching. My ears are, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's in here? Is it the coconut? I need to take an allergy panel. The funny thing is I did one and I was allergic to like, you know, things outside, environmental, like grass. Am I just allergic to everything outside? And so it affects my system. Is it my gut? I've been taking my probiotic, my symbiotic from Ritual. I love that stuff so much. It's so fantastic. But anyway, something's going on. And I got to get down to the root of the problem.
While I was flipping through the book, I found another recipe that I thought would be a good side dish for tonight. It does have meat in it, but I figured whatever's left over, I'll just meal prep for the rest of the week. But mostly it's like a cabbage dish. Oh, Wolfgang took the pen out of my book, so fingers crossed I find it again. Okay, well, no such luck. Oh my gosh. Oh, here it is. Sausage, peppers, and cabbage. I feel like instead of sausage, you can do potatoes, and that would be so good. I used to make, you know what? Even just cabbage and bacon. It does call for chicken stock, so I took some out of my freezer, the homemade stuff that tastes so good. It has so much flavor in it. But other than that, pretty simple. And I got the Cajun style sausage here because I don't think I have seasoning, so I figured I'll just get it in the sausage and that'll be good enough. It also calls for an onion. I'll go grab that while I am cooking this on the stovetop. I wonder if this is spicy. Like, are the kids gonna eat it? Not too spicy, but it does have, now I feel the kick. I feel it. Maybe, borderline. Okay, there it is in the back of the throat. When I took a swallow. Did you know spicy isn't a flavor? It's just the pain receptors in the back of your throat going off. So like salty, sweet, sour, those are flavors. What am I trying to say? Is that the right term? But spicy, those are just pain receptors. Bring it on, I say. Actually, I'm a wimp when it comes to spice. I'm like, ooh, that Cajun style. This is gonna be really good. I'm just gonna put a little oil in the pan back here to crisp things up. And I'll tell you something. You know my olive oil container the other day? Crashed it, smashed it, broke it, dropped it is what happened. I was picking it up to like add some oil and then it just everywhere. A full bottle of oil, shards of glass, everywhere. While the meat is cooking, I'm gonna dice up the onion. Not dice up, slice. Oh, this onion reminds me of like getting fajitas. It smells really good. I think the first time I had like a side of cabbage was at All You Can Eat KFC. Did you know that existed? It does. Of course, Alex found it. I think we were in Pennsylvania. There's one by us too. Anyway, it was like one of the most delicious things I've ever had. Maybe it was just like, oh, we're on a road trip and I'm starving. But anyway, I've made it several times since then, and it's such an underrated vegetable, and it stays good for such a long time in your fridge too. So I have one onion diced up, and then I'm going to cut up, that is a hunky chunky cabbage. I'm gonna core it. She has the core literally like in her picture, but I just know it's hard to eat. And then just slice it up. And then I'm going to slice up the peppers the same way. I have one red and one green. Say it every time. I don't cook with peppers enough. They're so good. Just big, hunky, chunky pieces. Maybe I might cut them in half. Yeah, I'll do that, just so they're more manageable to eat. Kids are being way too quiet right now. I'm gonna go check on them. Okay, they're good. And now the green. You know that the bottoms of bell peppers tell you whether or not they're gonna be sweet. So if they have 3 knobs, I guess they're not as sweet as the ones with 4 knobs, apparently. Looks like a pretty good board of vegetables, if you ask me. I'm contemplating cutting up the second sausage. I'm gonna add the veggies after the sausage cooks for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna season it with just a little bit of salt, pepper. I do Cajun seasoning, but I don't have that. I'm just gonna let these cook for a couple of minutes. I don't want the sausage and peppers to like fall apart. I meant onions. And I'm going to add the cabbage, and I'm gonna season this pretty well. You're supposed to like nestle it a certain way. I don't know about all that. Who has the time? Just gonna mix it in. And then I do have my chicken stock. The flavors in here are so great. So that's 1 cup, and I'm just gonna dump it all in. I don't have a lid for this, so I'm just gonna let it simmer for a while.
While it was simmering, I took advantage of that time, threw some music on the radio, and decided to tidy up my kitchen because what a stinking disaster. You know, just through the day, it just gets a mess. And it's hard to hide this because it's an open concept house, and so there are no walls to hide it. Pros and cons to everything, right? Anyway, so I just took the time to tidy up before everyone's ate dinner together. And my ear is really itching. I'm having trouble over here. It's going to be fine. Anyway, that cabbage, I don't even think I showed you a picture of it yet, finished, because it wasn't finished at this point. So good. The Cajun sausage, spicy. I don't care if you're like, oh, you're such a wimp. It was spicy. Spicy for some of my kids. Some other kids liked it. So I was glad that I had the chicken on back supply. So we kind of had like 2 things to choose from. But if you are to make this, I don't even think the recipe called for the Cajun sausage. I just bought it because I didn't have Cajun seasoning to put in. So you can either like add Cajun seasoning or don't. I feel like this would be fantastic even if you don't add any of the Cajun seasoning. Just salt and pepper. That's really all you need. And I actually think I put some garlic in there too. Just garlic powder. I think the recipe called for actual garlic, but I wasn't feeling it. Who needs to go through all that, you know? So I, spoiler alert, did not clean out my fridge today. Not today, but when I'm filming, I might actually do it today. We'll see. There's only so many hours in the day, and I'm like, oh, I have so much to do, and I need to also bring the kids. It's summertime, and there's just always too much, but we figure it out, right? We make it work and we do the best we can. And I'm talking about myself here. And that's all I can do is the best I can. And at the end of the day, my to-do list, whatever's left over, it rolls to the next day. And it's just a constant loop of to-dos. And I get to it when I get to it. And that's, that's all I can say about that. And that's why I haven't cleaned out my closet. Okay? It's on my list is all I can say. But the dishwasher, that's something that needs to get done every day. So I'm just loading that. It's kind of weird. I feel like maybe for a few days, I ran it twice in one day. Like several days. I'm like, oh, have I reached that point where we have to run it twice? And then if I don't run it twice, then I have a ton of dishes to do by hand. Okay, well, that's my life now. I guess that's what happens when you're a family of 7. All right. That was finished product, the cabbage, which was, oh my gosh, al dente. I will make that again. I think it would be delicious. I'm going to cook with more cabbage. Hold me to it, okay? And that was the breakfast/dessert, which I do think is healthier than the Amish baked oatmeal recipe that I have. So, and this one I don't know, I think I like it better. Oh, well, pros and cons of both. Maybe I'll make the Amish one next time. But I say Amish, but it's a recipe that I got from the Amish. No big deal. Little flex there that I know some Amish people. Really, I don't, but they're neighbors to family members up in Pennsylvania, and they get recipes from them, and then they share them with me, and I'm like, wow, you guys are the coolest. They like hang out with them. They're so cool. Anyway, this is the chicken. So fantastic. And it was really good. It had a mustard flavor. If you're not into that, obviously, you might not like it. And you got to expect it because there's a bunch of mustard in there. Oh my gosh, and I cut little boy's hair. You probably saw it earlier in the video because I did this the night before, but I thought I'd add it in here. And it was time, you guys. It was constantly in his eyes, and I was like, okay, well, I guess it's time to cut your hair. It's so bittersweet. The first haircut. So sad. And actually, I don't think Meredith has had her haircut yet, but I keep asking her, hey, like, do you want me to give you a trim? And she cut her own hair, technically. She gave herself like little side bangs, not on purpose, but actually they're pretty cute as they're growing out. That was like a year ago. I feel like she did that, maybe less, but maybe let's say 8 months. Anyway, so this is the first snippety snip. Oh my gosh, so many emotions. And I was like, I can't believe it. I love his hair so much, and I didn't want to cut it, but obviously it needed to be cut. It was scraggly and in his eyes and all over the place. So it definitely needed a trim. And we cut, I want to say like 4 inches off. It was getting a little wild. It's wild to me to think that when he was born, he had black hair, and then it fell out, and then it grew in blonde. I'm like, what the heck? It's the last thing I could have expected. Isn't that funny? All of my kids, it's funny how their hair gets lighter and their eyes get darker. So Avelina, our oldest, has the darkest hair, brown, dark brown, well, medium brown. And then her eyes are the lightest, like blue, crazy. And then he has blonde hair, brown eyes. And it just gets gradual with each child. And I think that's funny. I'm not sure how long he'll have the blonde hair or if it will stick. A lot of people in Alex's family have blonde hair. I was born with blonde hair and I'm German, obviously. Can't you tell? But more people in his family still have blonde hair than the people in my family who maybe were born with blonde hair but don't necessarily have it anymore. Grew out of it like I did. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm enjoying it while it lasts. I think it's super cute. I also think like Eleanor had lighter hair. Meredith has lighter hair. But as they get older, it's getting like dishwater and dirty blonde and then light brown. You know what I mean? So it's gradually getting darker. And that's just part of growing up. I think, well, that's a topic for another day. But anyway, the first haircut, I'm doing it while he's in the sink. I'm trying to distract him. As you can see, he's moving around a lot. He's 1 year old. So it's like I'm doing my best. I didn't want to bring the clippers out. I just wanted to do it with scissors. Really simple, really easy. I cut Alex's hair. I cut Wentworth's hair. So I've had a lot of years of practice doing this. But still, I'm like, if you see the end result, it looks kind of choppy. It's obviously not my best work, but it is super cute. And now he looks like a little man. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I just gave him anything to keep him distracted, and he loves spray bottles. So I just gave him a spray bottle and he went to town. When he got fussy with that, I gave him a bath bomb to just crush in his hands and put in the sink water. And so I just tried my best to keep him occupied. And I think in the end it kind of worked out. I just can't believe how much older he looks with shorter hair, you know. I can't, he'll be 2 at the end of September. And that in and of itself, I'm like, how has it been almost 2 years? It doesn't feel like it. In other ways, it feels like 100 years, you know? But in some ways, it feels like a month. It's bittersweet watching them get older and realizing that I'm also getting older with them. So for his second birthday, I haven't even looked at themes or, you know, maybe trucks. He's really into trucks and cars and anything on wheels. This morning we were going through some Christmas ornaments. It's a long story, but he found a rocking horse that had wheels and he was like, wheels! Literally anything with wheels, he's on it. So maybe that will be his theme. Rolling with my homies at 2. Rolling into second birthday. Something like that. I'm going to have to Pinterest it. Clearly, I need some help here. If you have any theme ideas for wheels or cars and 2. Toot toot, maybe trains. He doesn't like trains. Anyway, super cute. I wanted to just show you what the after looks like. And he got the comb and he's combing his hair. And I did end up trimming the next morning around his ears and stuff because it did need a little extra attention. But anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. And I will see you next time. If you want to subscribe, put a little happy in your day. Bye.